Hey guys, so this week, since we have Easter, I'm going to do a little Easter earring montage of there'll be a few of these earrings put together, and I'll probably have multiple recordings, but I'm going to merge all those videos in together so that we can have a fun little Easter celebration thing. So, UV resin Easter earrings. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. So my mold is awful dirty. So I'm taking some masking tape to make sure that the spots that I am going to actually make an earring in are nice and cleaned up. You don't need to worry about your edges because truthfully these little edges aren't going to matter. What you're really concerned about is inside the actual mold. And I'm going to show you. I'm pretty excited by this technique because it comes out really cute. Oh, there's a little. So I always look at my molds and see. I don't see anything else. There was just a little resin left over. So again, I'm not worried about all that outside stuff, but more the inside. So, just for time's sake, I'm going to do these kind of fastish. So this is a black UV resin by Counterculture, DIY. And they make clear, they do black, and they have a white as well. I've not tried the white out just yet. But we will soon enough. But this black, I'm just putting an awful thin layer of black resin, UV resin in here. And the black is sort of see-through, as you can see. There's a huge bubble, and we'll get it. But, oh, there's a hair fighting with it. And I'm going to just make sure that we get around the earring whole knob so that we made sure that we're around there. There's a bubble over here. I'll pull him up and out. But you'll notice it's somewhat iridescent or clear, and that is because you need it to be that way for it to cure. There's just a few too many little bubbles on the edge here, so we're just gonna zap him. Make sure we don't light our resin on fire. Okay. And the other advantage, though, that I have is because I have the Let's Resin dual light, we will be able to get a better cure on this because it's going to cure from top and bottom. But you'll notice how it's, I would call almost gray opposed to black. It's not a solid black. And the reason for that is it has to be able to cure. Alright. So, black resin, UV resin, is a lot stronger than the clear. Just doesn't, heads up. So it is very fumey. Not the best. Definitely wear your protective gear. Next, while that's curing, I got these adorable temporary tattoos. And I'm going to show you how we're going to use them. I'm going to make an earring for each of my daughters. So I'm just cutting out the one that they wanted. And there was only 2 sheets of each style. So like each one of these I could make a set of earrings. But you could only make one of that particular kind. So my youngest daughter said, "Baby chicks, I like them." I was like, okay. Done. My oldest preferred an Easter egg. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out as well, since I have my scissors, and while that's curing. So there's one. And look at these. They're just going to be so cute. For me, I want to do this purple egg and chick for me. I don't know if I'll have enough time in this video, but in the one that I back up to it, maybe I will. Let's see, round and round we go. These scissors are a little small for my fingers, but I ordered these on Amazon. They were super cheap. They came with 2 sets of the styles. Look at these cute little gnomes even. So, just something fun. Something fun. Get this out of the way. These are done. Oh yeah, nice and solid. Look beautiful. Okay. So, I didn't clean. I'm shocked. I found a cup that I didn't clean for my last UV resin that I did. And then I found this one. I'm like, goodness, I'm so bad about not cleaning my cups, which is not like me. So for hers, I want to have somewhat of a colored background besides the black, just so that it has something better to pop the baby chick a little bit. So I'm thinking kind of green grass, but I don't know if I want all green grass. Yeah, we're going to do a little combination. We're going to experiment even more. Okay. So, this is our clear by Counterculture, and I'm going to put, I don't know exactly, I'm just basically putting enough. I'm sorry, my dogs are going to freak out because my husband took the youngest for a little walk around the block, and the dogs are going to be like, why can't we go? Okay, so this is Let's Resin Mica Powder's Interference Green. And put that in for the grass. It doesn't take much mica, but I want to make sure that it really pops. And then I'll just wipe off my little stick. This is a Counterculture DIY little stick. And I use it just for pulling out, dipping out micas, or I might be able to get it. Or glitters. I don't use any resin stirring with this one. Still pretty. And then this is the blue. So it's the same thing. Let's Resin Mica Powder Interference Blue. So basically it gives you a shimmer. And you'll see once I mix these what this looks like. So I have my silicone brush. It looks gross because it had a piece of cured resin on it. But my silicone brush is what's going to mix these together. And still kind of hard to tell, but this is the green. And I like to make sure my mica is mixed in there really well so that we don't end up with like a powdery mix. Now this one you can tell a little bit that it's blue. I don't know if it's coming through on the camera. But it's cute too. So yeah, making sure that we're good and mixed so that we don't have any powder residue. Just because that would be noticeable. You'd get very streaky. So what I want to do on this is I want to do basically from about here or so up, I'm going to do my blue. And so I'm just going to, because resin is self-leveling, now UV resin is a little thicker, so it takes longer. So it's not probably, before you cure it, you're gonna have to move it. But essentially, if I put this in here, if you were to let it sit long enough, it would level itself out. Now, UV resin is meant to be worked and then cured pretty quickly, because technically you can put UV resin in sunshine and it's gonna start curing. So if your workspace is very sunny, you might need to close the shades when you're working with UV resin to avoid it becoming too tacky too fast on you. So anyway, I'm just trying to put the blue kind of more along the top like the sky, and then putting the green more down here along the bottom, like the grass, basically. And I'm not worried about being like perfect or a straight line. I want it to be somewhat just natural-ish. And look, as it's sitting here, I'm watching these colors start to pop even more. Like the blue seems like it's becoming more blue. And the green even looks more green. So I had extra green, but we might use it on the next one. I don't know. And again, I'm just trying to make sure that we get this resin up and around our edges and up and around this hole, because I want that to be sealed up, or I want to be able to have a good base for my hole. So I don't want it to be too funky. So this green got to be a little bit bigger than this one, so I'm just going to add a little more in here. Again, they'll be on each ear, so it's not like you're going to be, somebody's going to be going, oh, do they match perfectly? Probably not. Okay. And this resin is starting to get stringy. It's probably, honestly, because I have a ring light on, and that's going to give you enough light that it will start to get stringy or thicken up a little more. Plus, we have a mica in it. So, likelihood that mica is going to make it go a little faster, definitely there. It's like, where's my tape? I'm going to actually just take that green and I'm going to make a small earring piece right here, but I could tell there was stuff in there. So these micas are better off if you have a black background. They're going to be more noticeable when you have a black or a dark background. They're going to show up differently when you have a light background compared to the dark background. So just be aware of that. If you're wanting a more drastic look, then you would want to go with a regular mica, not this interface. To me, that's a funny word, but way of describing it. For me, I would say it's more like a chameleon mica. So based on the light, it's going to give you a little bit different look. If you notice, I didn't make sure those were filled in, and that's fine because it's the style I'm going to do them. So I'm okay with that. Okay, so let those cure up. In the meantime, I have a spray bottle that has just water in it. That's all it is. It's not warm water. It's just room temperature water. And that works the best for what we're getting ready to do with the temporary tattoo. So these are going to be really cute. So like I said, I'm going to do kind of a montage of videos all back to back for you guys so that you can sit down and watch multiple Easter earrings, different styles be put together. Hopefully enjoy. And then I'll probably make them all and then do the earring parts at the end. So if you wanted to skip that part, you could. Obviously, just something a little fun. I've got a few different variations, some with UV resin, probably all with UV. They'll all have a component of UV resin just because it's so easy to work with. But we'll do some variations. So, different things. Gotta mix it up. So, letting that cure, I do 2 minutes basically on here. And truthfully, I don't even think my bottom lights are on, ironically. Let's see. Yep, because that's not connected. There they are. I just realized that. But I had such a thin layer of black. It didn't matter. It worked. It worked itself out. But we'll cure that for 2 minutes with the top and bottom light. That would give us a good, solid piece to work with to put our little chicks on here. And then we'll do a top coat of clear and then pop them out of the mold. And that's literally how quick this is. The longest time is the curing time, really. I mean, I find that is the longest part. But these look really good. They probably don't even need the full 2 minutes just because they had probably almost finished their thing. I need to clean my tray. It's kind of gross looking. Clearly, I need to clean some cups. So, truthfully, these have been sitting out, but they're still going to be tacky. So, it sort of came out. Actually, it kind of came out pretty good with that. And then I'll probably just put a little bit of rubbing alcohol in it and wipe that out. And then it's good. It was sticky, though. I wouldn't have touched it with my fingers just because it was still pretty sticky. But it popped out of there. Super nice. Like, that was pretty nice, actually. So you could leave them, but UV resin's not going to cure up like your regular resin would and then pretty much pop out. So just something to be aware of. Sorry about the puppy dogs. Goodness gracious. They're losing their minds as they come back home. They're like, we were left all alone. Not really alone, because I was here. I'm looking at these to see. I think they're good. Woo! Alright. And right as I said that, that turned off. Perfect. Okay. So if you've ever done a temporary tattoo, there's a clear film on them. You're going to take that clear film off, and you're going to be able to determine approximately where you want to lay it. Make sure you press it all the way down. I'm going to go ahead and put the other one on as well. So I'm going to take off the clear film. It's a little, the tattoo itself is a little sticky because it's intended to go on your skin. But I have tried it on resin. It works. And these are going to come out super, super cute. So it doesn't take much. Just a couple little drops of water. I was going to say clear water, plain water. You basically want your paper to get all wet. So this one I did better because I'm going to get the paper all wet and be able to press that temporary tattoo down. And then it gets a little slippery slidey. That's it ready to be pulled off. However, he's not sticking. This is not going as well as it should have. Oh, there he is. There he is. Look at how cute he is. Okay. Now, let's try to get you. You didn't get all the way wet, so. And we're going to press him down in there. And I found with that one, just taking the top part up and off. Oh, look how cute they are. Okay. So, because I used water, in an ideal situation, you could let this sit for 12, 24 hours. Or just a few hours, let that fully dry up. But, because I want to be able to show y'all, I'm just taking a paper towel and I'm very gently pushing on the temporary tattoo. I don't want to pull him up by accident. So just a gentle push, soak up any extra water. Then, I am going to take my Counterculture DIY heat gun on low. I pointed away from the piece first just because I want to make sure that if there was any dust in it, it didn't get onto my piece. And that looks beautiful. Dry it up completely. And when I touch it, it's still a little sticky, but it's not wet at all. This one I'm going to give a little more heat. He got a little bit wetter. And that's really all you need. Or you could let nature run its course and dry it out for you. Okay, back to clear so that we can build this up just a smidge more. Ultimately, this would be the phase right before doming if we feel we need a dome once we get this layer done. So I don't have a system. It would probably be good for me to get a system when I'm doing this part. But basically, I'm just trying to get a nice layer, clear layer, down on it. So making sure that I have a good spot for my hole. I actually take that little silicone knob and I put it inside my nozzle piece here and do a little squeeze so that the resin goes all the way around it so that it can cure up and make a nice hole. I am going to hit this with the lighter just because I saw a couple little bubbles that were going to sit in a weird spot and I didn't want them to be there. And voila, we are going to pop this guy right back in under that light. 2 minutes. We'll pull it out. We'll see if we need to do any cleanup, doming potentially, and then literally that is it. We would at that point, when they get popped out, be able to look at doing the next set, which is awesome. That's how quickly you can do these earrings, which is great if you need like a last minute gift, basket idea, something. You could knock these out in your craft space, which is fun. Plus, resin is super light, so they're not going to be an overly heavy earring. If you have somebody who's like sensitive to that, who doesn't want something that weighs their earlobe down, UV resin is a good alternative. These are kind of bigger-ish of the UV resin earrings that I see. Bigger-ish meaning they're a bigger surface, but they're still pretty light. It's pretty amazing, which I personally like. So these guys are really cute. I think my daughter's gonna be happy. I was making something for my sister when I tested this whole theory out. So I'm running. Almost there. Like, come on. But then again, you don't want to rush it because you want it to get a good cure so that you have a good product to put out there. Even if it's a gift, I always want to make sure it's in good top notch. I think they're darn cute. Darn cute. Okay. So here they are. Looking super, super cute. They're pretty warm, so be aware that if you're going to immediately demold. I see that I had a little bubble funkiness going on. It looks like when that second layer went on, it came all the way down, created a bubble. So I'll probably do a black layer or just try to fill that in. One thing with UV sometimes, and I'm finding with doing these tattoo ones, they want to curl. So I'll probably dome and then put something heavy on it while it finishes curing so that it can stay relatively flat for us. But those are stinking cute. Okay. Almost like the exact spot on the earring. Like, what are the odds of that? It's so funny. And again, it's just trying to kind of curl. Got some roughish edges here, but I think if I go ahead and throw a dome on it, those will be hidden pretty quickly. So I want to think this through for just a moment. Almost. Oh, I know what I want. Okay. I was like, I know I have something in here. Because So this is just a divider to one of my totes that I keep to organize all my stuff, all my crafts. I'm using some blue Tiki Tack, got on Amazon, and it's just using it to hold it to this, to give me a base to put that clear coat on. What I want to do before I put the clear coat on, I'm going to go ahead and start our second round. And big old bubble come out. And I'm going to start us with putting that layer of black. So I might have gotten on a little thicker. And I probably should have a system, but I don't. I just kind of go with it. I do find that the black shrinks in the molds under the heat lamp, which is why you'll have some of that seepage happening. I don't think it's any issue, truthfully. It's always been fixable for me, so it might just be curing time or just the way it reacts to the light. So I'm going to go ahead and put those under. Put that on 2 minutes. I am going to slide it a little bit away from our workspace because I want you to be able to see these without them starting to cure on us from that light. And actually, just because it's fun and Easterish, let's just put this in the way of the heat lamp. Maybe. Let's not put that in there. Let's put that there. Okay. That way we block that light from coming over. And it will allow us to work on these. So, doming is going to bring up your top. I don't need much around the hole. I'm not worried about sealing in my hole because I have a Dremel tool. I have a bit that I can use to just drill that right on out. Easy peasy. Before I had that, yes, I would have been terrified to fill in my hole. It's totally worth it to have a Dremel tool. I could have also taken the Dremel tool, cleaned up these edges, made them more smooth before I did my top. But I felt like I could do most of it by doming. And if I need to clean up a little bit after, then I will. And see, that's how quickly doming takes. It's super fast, super easy. Handy to have something to put them on that is flat, that you can then put under the light. I just happen to have extras of these because I didn't need all my dividers, and it's worked in the past. So I like to do that. I don't know if this little guy's tattoo did something funky, or if I have a bubble. Just his wing. It almost looks like a bubble in there, but it's not. So there we go. And see, in that time frame, that cured up nicely. And now I could just stick this under without the tray, just on the purple thing. But because I don't need the tray, we just do that. Put up our little divider here, just because that works. Okay, so I'm doing a green egg. So I want to think about this. If I had orange, she would be all down for orange, but that probably wouldn't look very good anyway. Green. Let's do gold. So let's try this gold. Yeah, I think gold is going to be good. So the good news is I bought a ton of these on Amazon. So even though I have a bunch dirty, I've got one that I can do. And that's going to be done way before we're done. Now, I am going to do the entire of both earrings with this. So I'm putting a lot more UV resin in there so that I can do that entire do both. Now, first time opening. There's this seal. Luckily, not too bad. And then, oh, this is going to be pretty. A little bit more, not much more, but just a smidge. Alright. let's mix that up and see what happens, because that's gonna be gorgeous. Oh yeah, this is the way to go. Definitely the way to go. So you can see how it's very powdery. So you want to mix that until you get all those powdery pieces out of there. And you want to mix your resin fully into it. Otherwise you would have patches of clear that don't have color in it. Little tips as I have learned through the years. So I like to rub my silicone brush to the bottom, bring it up, do some mixing like that, and you can see, looks really good. So I'm going to try to do half-ish. I don't think that you're going to be able to tell what half is, but just basically trying to get about an even amount of each into each earring. So slowly but surely pouring this in. This one's kind of doing a reaction with bubbles, so we'll see how that works. And I hope I'm still within view, sort of, not really. There you go. So, and then I'm just cleaning as much of this out as I can to fill these. So these are going to be a little bit fuller than the other ones were at this stage, which is fine. This might need a little longer to cure just because I put so much mica in it. That resin may take a little bit more to cure up under the light. And before I throw them under the light, I'm doing just a little swirl just to give them some of that definition. Not sure it will matter, but hopefully it will kind of cure with some of that in there. And then I had just a smidge in this left, so I'm just adding them to those other ones that we've been throwing under. And then pop those in. Those might need, I'm going to do them for 3 minutes because with all that mica in there, I'm afraid it's going to struggle to fully cure. Oh, these are so cute. They probably, that guy needs one more little dome. This guy too. This guy has a little rough patch. So, I'm just gonna take my little tool here and clear off this little edge. And that will clear that pretty much up. And then once I dome it, it's going to be much better. There's a little on there. I don't want to get too crazy, but okay. So another round of clear, and then we got a little on the back side to do to clean it. When you're doing your doming, you got to be careful to not come over your edges, because then you're going to end up having drips, and then you got to clean those up. So you just want to be careful. And I know I'm kind of going a little willy-nilly fast here, but I'm paying attention to my edges. There is like a, I don't want to use that if it's got gold on it. There's a piece of putty on the front. I think it was stringy and popped up there. So got that off there. Did not want to cure it in there. Alright. Yep, good thing I did that. There was a bubble. Oh, very good thing. There were some bubbles going on. So that will be ready. I need to clean my bottle. It's sticky. Alright. So I'm just going to watch, make sure that I don't have any drippage before I slide this under. I know it's probably been a little less than 3 minutes on these, but I know that it got a good strong. I just don't want those to go much longer without trying to get them done. And yeah, these maybe need a little longer too. Like, just stick both of you in here for 2 minutes and see what we can do. Just because that is so thick. It just felt a smidge tacky. And I don't want to put a temporary tattoo on it and have it seal moisture within it, because once you've sealed the moisture within, then your piece is compromised. So hence why I do that just a smidge longer. Better safe than sorry. We're going to use this felt for an idea too in another one. So sneak peek. Sneak at a peek. How much of this one is? Oh yeah, much better. Okay. Put this back up just because I'm probably gonna go ahead and do that one just a smidge longer. So here we are. Our temporary tattoos. Peel that off. Put it about where we want it. I'm just guesstimating because I cannot see through here. I'm just going along with my thoughts and eyeballing it. This one I didn't cut very thin, so I have kind of a big chunk there. I'm just going to get that off so that I can better define where I want to go. Okay. Smidge. Ooh. Okay. That happened. So, hint would be to hold that down. Now, the piece is still really warm. I can actually feel, and I think that's why that curled up and reacted that way. But I think I was able to save it. Yes, I was. Look how cute that is. Look how cute. Ooh, these are slimy. Gross. Okay. It almost looks like they're defected, but they're both that way. I guess it's just the way the tattoo was. I didn't notice it being on the white, but now that it's on here, you can kind of see it. Alrighty. So, tap those dry. Yeah. And then a little bit of heat. Feeling good. Feeling good. I like those a lot. Alright, let's check on our little chippies. They look really good. So this, in theory, should just basically come off. Sometimes it's easier if you have a chunk of it. And just, yep, bring that up and off. Sweet. So we'll be able to fix this little bubble there. And this little bubble. And the reason why it's so sticky right now is because it's been under that heat. So it heated up and it got really tacky. But there we go. So to fix these bubbles, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to let these continue to dry a little. I'm going to put just a smidge of black. And I say smidge, and then it's going to drip. Okay. And I'm going to basically just dip it in there and fill that in. And that's literally all it is. So I still had some on my brush. Just dropping it in to fill that in, to make that not noticeable. I'll probably paint the edges with acrylic, or not acrylic, oil-based paint, and that will also hide any of that extra. I should just, I don't even know what color that mica is, but I can see that it had compiled itself together, so I'm just going to add it to these, and these are going to be one of those that just turns out kind of unique. This will be just like one of those random makes that you go, okay, that was cool, now I can't second it. So this has a little bit of the black that was in there. Try to make that kind of even. Of course it didn't really work. So I'll just either kind of mix it in, bring some of it over here, give it the same look. Alright, almost done with those. And then we're going to dome these up. And then I will put them under something heavy for 24 hours, let them finish before we completely finish them. So you can kind of see there was like a bubble, but again, nobody's gonna notice it because it's on the back side. So looks great. Looks good. Definitely gonna want to put those under something flat and let them finish. So again, looks pretty good. He might, this was the one that was really rough, huh? Almost feel like he could use another quick dome, but I feel like I've done so much doming on him. So the reason why I use this tacky stuff too, so you guys know, is that it makes sure your piece isn't moving on you when you're doing your dome. That is huge because you don't want it moving. I have used UV resin tape before, and that will work. Although I have found that my pieces get super stuck to it. And then I'm doing a lot of cleanup after that. And that's frustrating to me. Because it's like it gets too stuck. So I found that this tacky, and I saw somebody use it with, when they were adding UV resin to their clay earrings. Polymer clay earrings, that they used it to hold the clay earrings to their workspace while they domed them. And I thought, now that's a brilliant idea. And I'm going to use it on my UV resin earrings. Alright. Because we are doing dome, I like to make sure that I'm getting these little micro bubbles because they're not going to be hidden in the layers. Alright, so we'll cure that up for 2 minutes. Hide you behind there. Bring this one back over. We are going to do 101. Take your lid off. See, you can always learn from me. Even goofy things. Alright. These really sunk in the middle. Kind of funny. So I'm filling quite a bit in the middle and just a thinner amount on those edges. Again, because it is a more of one of the top layers, I am going ahead and popping our bubbles. Bubbles in there, bubblies. Alright, I want to get these under there too. So once you have the resin in, you don't have to worry about the light being close because it can start to cure and you're fine with that. It's just when you're trying to work with it, you don't want to have it too close. So basically I'll put it here, let that cure up till whenever the light goes out. We'll pull the little chicks out and then I'll put this one back in for a couple moments. And then we'll demold them. And we'll see if we got funky bubbles on the bottom. because that'll be interesting. Oh, these look good. Looks so good. Yeah, I definitely am going to paint the sides so that it hides your different layers. Definitely. Okay. So I'm going to clean that up. And then there is check number 1. Feels pretty good. Now I'm happy with it. Oh yeah, definitely happy. Much happier with how those edges feel. Just getting my tacky stuff off. They're not as curved as I thought they were. I still will put them under something a little heavier just to keep them flat or flatter. Now the holes are really rough, but again, I'm going to use a Dremel and I'll file that out and drill those out. So I'm not super worried about that. Alrighty. So that part is almost done. I bet you these are, oh yeah. I just put fingerprints all over that. That was lovely. These are really warm, but you can see. And no funky bubble. So that's exciting. Now there is a little bit of a rough edge here where one of the layers went down and over, but I'm not sure which. I'll probably just clean that up just with a little bit of filing on it, and then when I paint it, it will be just fine. So I'm not going to stress over it. No funky bubbles. There was some water on the bottom side that had seeped down. But overall, that one looks good. Looks really exciting. Okay. Move that out of the way. So to finish these ones off, I don't feel like I need to do anything on the back side, but I do want to fix my tops and finish doming them and filling in these rough edges. So, oh, see, I thought the lid was on, so that was good. Last time I didn't take the lid off, so I was being extra certain of that. Again, the middles have less in them, so I'm really working to fill those middles and then just get to the edge. You could also use your silicone brush to bring the resin to the edge if you needed to, but honestly I've found kind of my trick and system with coming to the edge the way I have. I feel like this one, okay, it's got resin there, I just couldn't tell. Sometimes you'll get a weird glare and it's so shiny you can't tell if you have resin or not, but that does have resin. So hopefully that's our last layer on them. Might not need more layers or not. So let's see how that works up and see what we got. So I am a little, because I touched that, I'm going to take this rubbing alcohol and I just brush it on and quickly wipe it off. And then to make sure that I get more of it off, I do go ahead and spray a little bit of water and wipe my hands off. I'll wash my hands really good too once I'm done. You could prevent this by using gloves. However, I don't do very good when I'm doing UV resin with gloves, so I just try not to touch the resin. Alrighty. Got my cup clean. So, because I did that, I had this, the alcohol on here, on this napkin. I'm going ahead and, or this paper towel, going ahead and wiping out my cups. That way, they will be nice and clean for next project. So, and they wiped out. I do them usually while it's uncured, fully uncured. And it's pretty easy. Although this wasn't bad either. I was a little worried, but. And then you could always, to do a cleanup, you could do soap and water. But I wouldn't have a lot of resin going in your drain, so you would want to have most of it out by that point, if not all of it, and just trying to clean up some of the dried stuff. I find rubbing alcohol works great. And then if I had a big chunk like on here, these chunks you could just peel off or use the tape method like I did. So like there's a chunk in here, it's going to come right out, or I could use the tape method. These aren't full, so we'll continue filling those with the next project. These, yeah, gonna need one more round. I was hoping that that was all I needed, but it's not. I need one more good round. Oh, okay. So you might have seen that. I went right over the edge. I got a little too crazy. So just taking my silicone brush, I'm going to pick that up off of the edge, clean that edge up as much as I can so that I don't get a funky cure on my edge. And that was just out of carelessness with my speed. Honestly. Okay. So, pop that in there. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and wipe that off. Wipe this off. That lid I don't think goes to that one. I think this lid goes to that one. Yeah. Getting my lids all mixed up. Alright. There we go. Okay. And then I keep a big old heavy book over here. And that's what I'm going to put it under. This is a project I've never finished. We'll wait till this other set comes out and we'll pop them under there too, but that just kind of gives us a prepping spot. There's not much of a bend on them, and truthfully these are probably pretty solid. They've cooled pretty much like that. I do have a thought next time I do it. We might experiment something. I'll probably do that next time. Too late now for that thought, but we'll do it next time. Alright, these are just about done. Again, not worried about these holes. We're going to get that all cleaned up. It's really sharp up here. Just stabbed myself. But I'll get that all cleaned up with my Dremel. These look really cute. Cute, cute, cute. So little chickadees. Little chicks, baby chicks. And little Easter eggs. Daisy Easter eggs. Easter is one of my favorite holidays. I really love Easter, so. Oh. Look at that. I just tore that right on off of there. That was good. That's hot glue on my book here. You can see, whoopsie. Oh, I'm peeling more. That's what happens when you don't finish a project and then you use your said project for something else. But maybe I'll finish it one day. I got to this point and didn't love it, so I'm going to decoupage it with a napkin, but I don't know. I wasn't inspired at this point. So, I stopped. But it's a nice heavy book. I'm thinking, oh yeah, these are good. These are so good. So, again, super sticky just because of the heat of our lamp. But, look how cute those are. But, it's so easy to get that off. And it will come off of this too, especially as it cools back up. But, there we go. And that's reusable. Okay, so these are still bendable right now because they have not hardened or cooled off. So I'm going to put the book on top of them. This is really heavy, has some shells, colored shells in it. And I'm going to put that on top just to help hold those flat overnight. They'll fully cool and cure up and be ready to be made into earrings for the next side of this. So stay on this video because this part of the video is not over. Though I'm done recording this set, I'm going to add a bunch of videos together with all these earrings so that you can see various ones and have some fun for Easter. Hope you enjoyed this part and stay on for the next. Thanks. Hey guys, so round 2, second video, although this will all be streamlined for you guys. So anyway, however you want to say it, we did these guys in the first little installment. They came out really good. They're nice and solid. So loving them. I'll stick them in here because we'll make earrings out of them a little bit later on. So as you probably remember seeing this in the last video, I'm going to try to make something out of these. These are just a velvet piece. That's not even right. Felt piece. So, bought these on clearance at the end of Easter last year. It's typically how I do it. I find to try to catch after the, basically after the holiday and pick stuff up. So, you can just see it's just a little felt piece. I want a little bit bigger scissors for my fingers. So, we're going to try this. We'll see if this works. Basically, what I want to do, I'm going to experiment a smidge. I want to cut out the Easter egg. And we are going to turn this into an earring using UV resin. We're going to try a couple techniques and see what happens. So, I just did my best basically to follow the Easter egg. And I'm going to get another polka dot one. And to make it a little bit easier on myself, I'm just going to go in and get this one almost all the way. Cut it around basically so that I don't have all that weighing on me and trying to do a weird angle. So basically just cutting as close to the edge as possible, maybe a smidge over the edge too, which it's not going to be perfectly exact, but that's alright. Okay. So you can see, like, I left a little bit there too. Alright. I want to try another round of it too. For easy's sake, this yellow one popped out at me. Just because of location. So I'm going to just do that so that I'm basically doing the same thing. Trying to get as close as I can. These are pretty sharp scissors too. If your scissors weren't very sharp, this would be a lot harder. You could also get like your fabric scissors. If you have scissors designated for fabric, you could use those. Alrighty. And you can see just even out of this one sheet, I would be able to get several earrings made if this works. So, fingers crossed, it works. We'll see. Okay. That's fine. So this had, my gosh, just like 5 sheets of, yeah, 5 sheets of the blue. And then flip it over, it had 5 sheets on the white. So you could, really the blue, it's not going to make any difference because it's white on the back. So I could have cut from here too. Alright. Put that off to the side. And I wanted to see one thing I was going to look at. So see, we could definitely go in here and make it a full earring. But what I'd really like to do is see if I can make it not have to be, and I'm running out of space, y'all. Put that to the floor. I was like, I've got a few different projects going. I know, shocking. A few different projects going in my craft space, and it's causing a pile up. I had it all nice and clean, like 2 days ago. And then, of course, I was like, oh, let me craft and make a mess. Alright. So, taking just a little bit of masking tape, clean that up. So what I'd like to do, though, is I actually am going to use the back side just as I just threw that little egg. Oh, don't mind me. Go grab him. I'm going to use the back side of the silicone just to give me something soft to work on. I could use a silicone mat or something, but I want it to be mobile to be able to go underneath the light. So what I want to try, and we'll see if this works. I don't know how it's going to react on the felt. I basically just want to build a domed top. And if I'm on this silicone back of this earring mold, I figure what will happen is it's not going to stick to that. And I don't want to stick the felt on UV resin tape because I'm afraid it would just get too stuck being the material. It looks like the felt's kind of absorbing some of it, which is fine. I'm not concerned from that aspect. There is a bubble. Alrighty. So I should have done this on this tray. That would have been smarter. But let's just slide that tray up underneath there. We'll see if this works. Whew. Note to self, don't be staring at the UV light when you turn it on. The other thing I have is these. These were, I got Oriental Trading Company. They're stickers, but I've had them for so long, y'all. The sticker. It's kind of embarrassing. Sticker no longer sticks. So I was like, you know what? I've had them for so long. Why am I holding on to them? Why not? Like, I just thought they were cute. It's not that I've been holding on to them per se. I was like, I'm going to make earrings out of them. I think they'd be cute as earrings. They're all coming out. So, why not, right? That crunch sound was just, there's some sand on my table and it made a crunchy sound when I moved that. So, need to be alarmed. I'm going to just put some tacky stuff down so that these don't move around too much, and I'm going to cover them with UV resin. Basically, that's my plan, is that we'll just put some UV resin on them. See, I told y'all we're going to make all kinds of different ones. This series is going to be long. This episode video will be longer, but you're going to get multiple techniques with the UV resin all in one. Let's do the blue here since we can do, let's put a little more there. I think I need a little more on this one too. It's not wanting to hold. Or it might be because there's that backing on it. I probably need to take all those off, but that's okay. While we're waiting, we'll do that to the rest of these. It just is the sticker back, but they're not sticky on the back side, so they're actually, I think it's going to work out really cute that I had them for so long, quote unquote, you know. It's all good. I might like glitter the backs. Just put a little bit of glitter in with the UV resin. Make them pretty that way. So they're not like some of them are white, but some are like this blued yellow look that kind of makes them look maybe old or vintage. Not so new. Okay. Alrighty, let's see how this did. Let's see what these little guys did. Oh, they're cute, y'all. They're really cute. And it did soak to the back, but because it was on the silicone, it didn't stick. And so it just popped right off. So really, yeah, that was perfect. So I don't really want to put them in another earring because I want them to look like Easter eggs more. Whereas like, when you look at these, you can kind of, I mean, I can tell it's an Easter egg and I know it's an Easter egg, but if you're just wearing them, somebody might not peg that as an Easter egg. So that's why I wanted to try this. So basically, I'm going to just, on the back side, I'm going to go ahead and do a layer on it so that it's all also getting a layer built up on it as well. So see how cute this is. So we'll do that. And yep, I'm gonna need more UV resin before too long. No, oh no, oh no. A little more micro bubbles in that than I normally see. And I see that I'm missing just a little bit here, so I'm just gonna fill that in. Oh no, I'm definitely at an angle and I am overflowing. So I probably went a little too cray-cray on that. So I'm just going to take some of that off with my silicone brush. I'm going to move this one up to there. And I'm going to just take some of this off, like I said, with my silicone brush and just put it over here. I think this one I'm okay. So I'm going to go ahead and go in here. And I want to protect this so that it's not getting that light. Okay, because this I could see definitely had some bubbles and I don't want that to be in place. So I probably did just a smidge too much on that one because I had to do pretty thick on the front because it absorbed, but because it had already absorbed and come to the back side, I probably should have done a thinner layer. So, hindsight. These I don't think will absorb much. I don't think they're going to need much. So I'm doing a fairly thin layer. And really, I could probably just make earrings out of them and they would be fine. But I want something that's a little bit longer lasting, and so covering the glitter with, I could tell there was a dot that didn't have any resin on it. Isn't that funny? Like, how did I miss that? But giving them a coat of this will allow these little dots of glitter to not rub off. But I wanted you guys to see, like, you can get creative. Something that you've hung on for a really long time with, and like, how can you use it? Think outside the box. You know, these were stickers that we're gonna turn into something rather than them just sitting in my Easter decorations year after year. Let's convert them to something fun and useful. And if you're wondering about the holes for the earrings attachments, we'll go through that with our drill. So we'll be fine. A lot of bubbles happening. I don't know if it's the temperature. I'm not really sure, but I definitely have a lot of bubbles. So I'm not really touching the resin, just going across the top, trying to hit those bubbles. There's a couple I'm going to have to move up with my tool because like there's a bubble sitting more towards the bottom and your ladder's not going to get down to that level. So you might have to take your silicone brush and just bring it to the surface. And it may still not pop and you might create another bubble or two while you're moving it to the surface. But that's okay because as long as they're kind of at the surface, then you can take your ladder and you can get them. But when they're on the bottom, you're not going to be able to get them, and you don't want to risk putting so much heat on that you burn your resin or catch your resin on fire. I think the bubbles on these, I'm realizing, are probably coming from the glitter dots. There's probably just some air pockets or something happening, and that's what's causing them more. Oh, I got that one completely out of there, so. Oh, my pink one here, I'm overflowing. Probably got just a smidge too much heat on it when I was doing the thing. So, let's see. I can clean it up, and I'll be able to clean it up with my Dremel tool, but if I don't have to do more work than necessary, I don't want to create a huge lip on there. So I'm trying to get it to not be sticking to this surface, and then also don't want to have to try to clean up more than I need to. So we're going to try to swap these out so that I can just get it curing so that it stops running. So these are cute. These are really cute. I'm thinking with them I'm going to take my Dremel just around the edge to clean up the edges for them. Ew, that one. Ew, I don't know what happened there. That one got really sticky. Okay, so I have a little just rubbing alcohol in that bottle. And I'm going to just really wipe my hands off with that because that was bizarre. Bizarre. So, I don't know what happened. I don't want to really touch it again and get all gross. Not that it's gross, it's just really sticky. Okay. Yeah, that cured up. Okay, I don't know what happened. Why that went that way. This one feels perfectly fine. I think a little Dremel on it, and truthfully then a little like gold edging would look super cute. And he's ready to be made into an earring. I think that's great. Super light, super sweet. So this I put some UV resin on it from just my brushing. And I guess you could do probably just like a really thin layer, let it absorb. I'm afraid I'm gonna be too close with that light. Just see in here. I'm gonna basically just let this absorb in. Yeah, because that's all absorbing. The felt is absorbing that up. Which I truthfully expected. I expect it to absorb. Oh, these are cute. These are so simple and cute. Let me put these in really quick. I'm going to cure that the way it is, and then I'm going to put a top coat on it. Okay. This one, I don't know what is going on with you. I think I need to do a top layer on him. He has this funky edge where he got all caught up under, and I think that just didn't cure very well. I'm going to flip him that way and put him under. These, though, are super cute. They're so smooth now. That one still had the back on it. This one came out great. Didn't end up with any funky edging, which is great. Love how easy those were. And that cured right up on there. Let's see. Just getting that off of there. And we're going to do, I'm going to have to get some glitters to do on the backs of these. Oh my goodness, I can't get this off. You know what, let's just grab, sometimes when you have just a small amount, you just need the bigger version. I was like, of course it's the one that I've already taken the back off. If it wasn't, I would just peel the back off and let it go, but it wasn't. No, that's fine. I'm good. I'm good. We work around it. This will probably just fully come off just because it's plastic, and so it just resisted that getting stuck to it, which is awesome. All right. Yay, yay, yay. Oh, yay, yay, yay. Let's see how these came out. Yeah. Much better. Yeah, it's kind of the trick that should let it kind of soak in, and then from there, now we'll be able to dome. Oh, this one's so much better. The only thing with this one is I am going to do a thin layer on the top to dome, just because it has that funky edge down here, and if I don't, it's going to cause some germaling anyway, and then I'm going to have to do this it's unavoidable basically. So I'm going to do the same with this one so that they have the same layers, same amount of layers, so that they're similar in thickness too. They're wanting to move around on me though. These here don't move around when they're at this stage. Well, I say that and then I like bump it with the nozzle of the resin, and yeah, it moved. Good job. Very nice thing about doing the felt there is like on this where it hasn't absorbed into the edge yet, kind of prevents it from going over the edge, which is nice. I'm going to separate these two so they're not touching, because we don't want that. Okay, these are super cute. Let me pop some bubbles, some bubbly bubbles. There's one. It's gonna be persnickety there. Let's see, big old one down here, but I think he might be there. He's not going nowhere. Oh, I have some overage happening. Let's see it again. Here we go again. It's also not sitting very straight on there. That's where I had them touching. So I am going to just go ahead and get this in pretty quickly and let that start curing up. Oh, and then I just painted right across there. So if you can see that extra resin there, I think if I just take a paper towel and I get it off, we should be good. Yep, perfect. Like if I get it off before it cures, then we're good. Okay. Alrighty, while that cures, I am going to grab my glitters so that we can because I'm working in such a tight area. I have everything organized, so I just need to get this. Let's see, this would look cute with like a blue behind it, which I probably have. Yeah, I think that would be cute. This one may not really have a yellow, so I may just have to kind of make it fun. Ew. This coral reef is gorgeous. I tell you, gorgeous. I think I want to use it on one. Not sure which yet, but we're gonna figure that out. Okay. Yeah, I'm realizing, like, out of all the glitters I have, well, these aren't all of them, I guess. I'm not seeing, like, a yellow that I like. I'm trying to think where my others are that I would have probably. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I found it. So, I'm going to do this yellow on the blues. I'm going to do this on the back side of the pinks, just for something fun and different. And this one on the back side of those. Like, put them together so I can keep track. Alright. Let's see these. Yep, these are going to need their backsides cured up before I put a layer on them. These ended up with some funkiness because we had some overage happen. So one thing you can do is if you have a good pair of scissors, you just, while it's still sort of curing, hasn't solidified up, you can just trim that right on off. I think these would look really great with a dark color on the back of them so that the front can pop. So I'm going to use a Hocus Pocus on the back of those ones. So we have a lot of colors going to be happening and situations going on here. So we are going to want tacky stuff because these are going to try to shift around on us when we do the back sides. So, and I don't want them shifting when we're doing the back side because we're going to have to paint this on, basically. Okay, so I got to remember, I'm going to put this in order, left to right, so that I know which ones are which ones, because I'm not going to be able to see the fronts of them. Those I'll be able to tell, but these I would not be able to, so this way I'm not trying to guess when I put on the back. And I did these a little bit better so that I can get these other ones in here with us. Yay! Hard part is when you're doing a bunch like this, because I'm trying to get it to where you guys can see everything in the video. This, you do not want that light extending over because it will start curing up the resin here. So you just want to be careful about that. Alright, so I'm going to take some resin, clear. Whew, I'm going to sneeze, y'all. I'm going to try not to sneeze. There's my spoon. So I just have a spoon here that I'm going to take this glitter and put it in. And then I'm going to take my silicone brush. I'm going to mix it around. And then basically, hoping this will be enough, but I don't know. I'm going to spread this. I'm probably going to have to do a little bit more than that. Very much going to get the look I'm going to want. But I also want this to be able to cure. And I don't want to have it too thick because we have so much glitter in it. You want to make sure that the UV resin is going to be able to cure, because UV resin needs that light for sure. So this one looks pretty good. Doesn't look half bad. It would maybe need one more round of that exact kind of same setup probably, and then it would be sitting pretty golden. This one might need a few more rounds, but I think it looks pretty. Okay, I'm going to take this cup and I'm just going to move it out of the way because I am going to use it again. So then we're going to get another cup. I don't want to use the same one. A little trick would be is to make sure that you put your UV resin in first. If you don't, if you put your glitter in first, you will have glitter squirt up when you go to put in your UV resin. So just a spoonful of glitter does not help the medicine go down. Just saying, don't do that. But that's what reminded me, just a spoonful. Alright. My youngest and I we listen to Disney songs in the morning when we're waiting for the school doors to open. And so all sorts of songs come on, and that's what it reminded me of. As you can see, it's just kind of like painting in a sense. A piece of the blue glitter landed in there. If you wanted to be very particular, you could probably get that out. Right at this moment, I'm not super concerned about it. These are on the back side. This fine glitter did a lot better. And I think I gave myself a little bit more UV resin to work with as well. So twofold definitely helped to cover these ones a lot better than the first blue ones. I see a hair. I was trying to get in our resin. No, no, no. We're not gonna let it. Alrighty. Looks pretty good. This one, I really didn't have to wipe off my brush for the thicker one, which is probably why I ended up with a couple little pieces in this other. But with the yellow, I'm definitely gonna wipe it off because that glitter is super fine. And I'm just pulling out the couple pieces of the blue that I could see because it was bothering me. Alrighty. There's that. Make sure our brush is pretty cleaned off. This is really pretty too. These are all counter, I take that back. These ones that are in these bigger containers are counterculture DIY glitters. This is a Darius. I believe I got those from Blick Art Supplies or something. They might have been a Michael's, but I think I ordered something online for my daughter and needed to hit, you know, a little bit more to get free shipping. Now I'm a little bit worried that this one is too thick, too much glitter, that it's not going to cure very well. But we will see. But these ones I got like a bunch of different colors. I can't remember. I thought maybe it came in a pack, or I take that back. They probably weren't in a full pack, like a bulk pack, but I think what it was is that there was several different colors and they were on clearance, if I recall. And so I was like, oh yeah, I needed a free shipping and clearance. Done. I'll order those. And it had some unique colors that I didn't have. Like, I don't have a yellow in counterculture, so it worked out. It's a really pretty yellow too. Yeah, I'm a little bit worried about this one. I don't worry about my other resins usually, but UV resin, just because you're curing so quickly, you gotta be kind of careful about not being so thick, and so that the light can actually get to it and actually cure it up. But I might have did it a little too thick, which won't allow that light to go through. But you know what? We're just gonna have to try it and see. Looks really cute though. I'm loving the colors. Alrighty. It's got really messy though. I'm trying not to do so much with this purple because this I won't need. Yeah, there's a slimy going down my. These won't need as much just because there's not as much surface to cover. And I'm just, there's so much glitter on this spoon, y'all. Like, oh my gracious. I was like pounding it off, but even then I was like, there's so much glitter on this. Okay. I'm working somewhat fast because I don't want to have overflow. And so I'm trying to not be too close to the edge, but then also try to work really kind of quickly so that I can not have that overflow and get this under the light to cure up. Now, if you were doing it, not doing a video, you could go much slower, be a little bit more meticulous about how you got the glitter on there. We're going to fill these in more, so I'm not super worried about that side of things. These look pretty good. But just letting you know, if it looks like I'm rushing, I somewhat am. But I try to maximize, especially when I'm recording video for you guys, I'm trying to maximize my time under the UV light, just so that you can see more. And I'm trying to mix up my length of videos. This one will definitely be a longer one, so I hope you guys ride it out and enjoy it, or fast forward through it and get to the ones that you want to see get finished. Okay. This, I think I need to, okay. I'm going to edge these anyway with like a gold, or I'm going to Dremel up their sides, and then we'll do like a gold border. So I'm not overly worried about the edges, but I wanted to make sure that I wasn't like way off on them. All right, let's slide that in there. 2 minutes. So these were, I had done the, cured up the back sides just because I could feel they were tacky from the seepage through them. So the front sides look pretty good. What's a little bit sad about these is that you really can't see the white part anymore. I don't know if that's just because it's so light. So I'm going to try something. Since we're in the mode of exploration, I've got a white UV resin by Counterculture. Now I'm going to put my hand here so that the UV light's not coming. Yes, UV light is getting somewhat, but I do not remember those having a seal, so I'm thrown off that this one had a seal, because I could have sworn that those did not, but then again, maybe they did and I just didn't realize. I don't remember. Maybe that's the case. That's probably more like the case. Probably that I don't remember. Okay. Let's try this again. So I am putting my hand here. I know that the UV light is somewhat coming over. I get it, y'all. Like, isn't blocked by my hand. This is definitely white. Don't make that as an invitation to come off the edge, okay? Okay. Like, that was not an invitation. Okay. That really seemed to go pretty good. There's a bubble. With the glitter, I wasn't worried about the bubbles because, truthfully, glitter's going to hide the bubbles. Any sort of bubble that you end up with. Oh, that was not the most dirty, but we made it. Oh, man. We had some come down off the side on this one. And it got to the front. Yay. Not really yay, but okay. What is my motto? We say it every video. If you don't know it by now, you haven't watched enough of my videos. Every mistake is fixable. You just got to get creative. Now, you saw how relatively easy that was. It's because this resin wasn't fully cured because it was still warm. So, I was able to pretty quickly with this tool clean that up and get that off. Now with a Dremel, I'm going to be able to finish that cleanup process and it's going to look perfect. So, see? Did you hear me grumble when I first saw it? I was like, son of a gun. And then what happened? I found the solution and I got it done. Now, those look a little bit better on the front because they're now darker on the back. They look pretty good. I probably am going to zap these back under one more round just to fully cure those. Same thing with these. Same thing with these. These we know we got to do a little bit more work on anyway. So, got my cup that had that glitter in it. And I do not... Oh, that bottle. Y'all, hold on. So, I got UV resin on me. That's where I should be wearing gloves. And there's going to be haters out there that are going to hate what I'm about to do. But if it bothers you, you can move on to the next video. Okay. That was with some rubbing alcohol. Wipe that right on off my hands. I am going to take a little bit of water. Rub that off. And dry my hands. When I'm totally done in the craft space, I will go and wash my hands really, really well. So I'm not concerned. But the UV resin, any type of resin, can get into your system. It's toxic. This is a chemical. We are working with chemicals. So, that would be where you need to be cautious. But do what you are most comfortable with. There we go. I cleaned up my bottle because that was an issue. Okay. While I was doing that, I moved this clear over to another table just so that it was out of the light, not sitting in this space, so that we didn't lose or waste that resin that I had used. Okay. This is so pretty. This is really dirty. And so I don't throw that napkin away that I used the alcohol on because I can use that napkin to do some of the cleanup work like this. So it works out. So yeah, this is much thicker. Proper English. But it's almost too thick. It's this glitter not being that micro fine glitter. It's like a thicker glitter or a chunkier glitter. And it does not like to spread. And it's absorbing our resin, it seems. I'm like almost hesitant to grab my bottle now. I'm like, oh. I'm going to just add more resin to that so that I can maybe get it spread. I don't mind seeing it almost reminds me of wood behind there, but I know it's not wood. It's just a cardboard piece that these stickers, they were like thick stickers on like a cardboard piece. But it reminds me of, the look makes me think that it's sitting on a piece of wood. And I don't mind seeing a little bit of that come through. These you don't see it really. But with these you definitely see it. That doesn't really bother me. That's not what I was really so much concerned about. What was hard here is it just is not, because it was so thick, it doesn't want to spread very easily. And so you're just not getting much surface covered. And you're going to get kind of probably a bumpy surface, so. A little bit more in there. I feel like we're a little bit uneven. This one's a lot thicker. So we'll add a little more here just to help even that out. Okay. I think that's cute. Sweet. Alrighty. I think all these need just another 2-minute zap. Okay. So we're going to just slide those babies in there. And voila. Alright. Final set of earrings that we are going to do for Easter. I think is, give me 1 second now. I take that back. I take it back. Forgive me. Forgive me. I want to try one more thing because, I mean, heckity, why not? Okay, this is faux leather. I ordered a pack, and oh my gosh, I opened that pack and it is so strong from Amazon. Chemically strong. Whew. It's like worse than the mica is, or worse than the UV resin. So what I want to try with this is to make an earring. So, first up is going to be, I need my marker, that I need to be able to cut out a pattern. Now, had I been thinking and planned a little bit better, I could have probably grabbed my Cricut down and made it cut the faux leather and cut out Easter eggs for myself out of it. However, this marker is done. I think one of my kids had it last. If you have kids, you know what I mean. And they probably didn't put the lid on. Anywho, it's enough that I can see what I'm doing. But since I'm winging it and completely forgot that I had this, I want to try this. And I was debating, do I do it, do I not? But I want to see if this is something that would work. And I have this Easter pack that I got, so why not? And those worked out good. It was a good little template. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. Yeah, you could do this and that would be cute. Turn that into an earring. You could have your Cricut, if you have one, cut out the faux leather and put a hole in it and hang it as an earring. You could put them back to back so that both sides have a pattern. You could glue them together with a glue like this if you wanted, so that they were like that. Voila, an earring, right? Okay, could totally do that. But I want to take it a step further, and I want to try to UV resin them so that they're sealed under UV resin. Alright, let's pull these guys out, see how we're doing. Oh, much better. Yeah, I mean, I think these are cute. I don't love these yellow. They paled up. I think I want to do something here. Yeah, I do. We're going to do something a little bit with those, okay? The rest of these, I forgot these had sticky stuff on them. The rest of these I think are good to go. They just need a hole in there. They're cute. Okay. So let's put those in my to add holes to. Right? This one needs a little more curing on the back. Might as well just throw it in there. These ones feel good. Okay. That one just didn't feel like it was fully cured up. So if you think, if it feels kind of tacky, or maybe you could just use another hit into the UV light, throw it back under. This UV light does go 2, 3, or 5 minutes. 2 minutes is long enough for me to already wait. You guys have heard me say that. So I just would rather, if I don't know, especially because I'm experimenting, I would just throw it back in for another 2 minutes. If I knew, hey, this is just not working, like these maybe or something, because they're absorbing, the UV resin is getting absorbed into the felt, then maybe I would say, okay, those I know need to go under for 3 minutes. Okay, I'll do 3 minutes on them. But ultimately, these are really cute too, y'all. Like, so cute. And they're really light, and you heard them land, I'm sure. They clinked. These are cute. I like them with the darker background, for sure. I think they'll be good. Alright. So, these guys and these guys, right? Alright. Of course, I mixed some of my resin. My paintbrush dripped blue into my yellow. I'll just show you guys so you can see. So it dripped into my yellow, which is fine. I'll use that for something. It's not going to go to waste, but I don't want to use it for this. So, wipe off my brush. Throw those away. They're getting too sticky. Always put in your UV resin first so that you don't spray glitter all over your workspace. It's just something I've learned. I learned through the years. Alright. I love this Bella Ray. So, since it's a purple, I'm just going to go ahead. I know it's different than the other purple that we used. Just going to go ahead and go in the same thing. And I think I need a little bit more in there. Okay. Alright, alright. Let's clean off our brush. It's going to be so exciting. I'm excited for this, guys. We're going to see what we're going to do with these. Hopefully, it works. Ooh. Oh, so pretty. I don't want to go too much. I'm deciding on that. I'm not putting anything on my brush on the paper towel when I wipe off the spoon. It's just a dry paper towel just to get the glitter off. You could put a little rubbing alcohol if you wanted. If the glitter was sticking too much, it would be fine. But I love these little spoons and tools from counterculture. They're a lot of fun. They make you feel bougie, high class. Alright, so this brush I'm going to use for the yellow. This is very similar. It's just a little bit smaller. I'm going to use it for the purple. Let's see why. So basically, what I'm going to try to do is decorate our Easter egg. Okay. So we have this cute yellow Easter egg. I probably should have, and I'm gonna go ahead and tack him down. So the tacky stuff, you see me fighting with it to pick it back up off the plastic piece here, and like it's stuck to the earring or UV piece that we're doing. But I'm telling y'all, especially if you're doing like painting like this, it's totally worth it. It's worth that little bit of a battle. So basically, all I'm doing is I'm putting the yellow where I kind of want it. And then I'm going to put the purple where I want it. And we're decorating as an Easter egg that way, essentially. But we're doing it with UV resin and glitter. And of course we had a felt base to give us kind of that initial guidance. There are 3 circles in these. They're probably going to get filled in with this yellow right now, but we're going to put the purple in over top of them. Just a dollop. And I can still kind of see where they are. So. And you see me like spin the brush. It's just trying to make sure the glitter kind of stays, or the glitter and UV resin stay on my brush as I bring it up because it's so thick. And then at the same time, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't, but you know, you'll understand if you work with it. So, I'm just gonna, oh, that one got a little bit crazy. Somebody's paintbrush got a little crazy. But see how I just was able to kind of swirl that and get it back in line? That one needs just a smidge more. I think that looks cute. People are going to understand it's an Easter egg. That's fun. And if I wanted to take a ton of time, you could do different colors, of course. You could do a layer, cure it up if you wanted. Thing is, once you cure it, it becomes hard. This allows me to do like the little swirl that I did with it and do a little bit more manipulating of it. A little crazy. So, just play with it. The best way you're going to learn this art with UV resin, or any art for that matter, truthfully, is going to be experimenting and learning your techniques. And that's what's going to make you unique. You don't want your art to be the same as everybody else's. I hope that I'm just inspiring you to do what you love, whatever that might be. And if it's that you just love other people creating, that's really awesome too. You know, if you found that you're not the creator, but you like to watch the creations, watch the creations. That brings you joy. Nobody can take your joy away from you. Nobody in no situation. You should always have some joy. Not saying you won't have sadness, but just saying that you gotta find where your peace lies and not let your circumstances or situation get you down. See, therapy with Beck's Creations here. Was not intended for tonight's session, but you know, you just go with it. That's what's on my mind. Therapy. It's good for the soul, for all of us. I almost had a dot drip off my... This one might actually come out better than this one. That yellow, or that purple is trying to get away on me over here. I'm going to use this other side of this tool and bring it back in. And I'm going to go ahead and get these under the light. Now, before I turn on that light, Let's pull these two out. They look much, or they feel much better. They're definitely where they need to be. Alright, before we put on that light, let's move these out of the way. So they're off camera. They're just out of the way so that they're not getting all that light on them. And then all that resin would be wasted. Because that's the other thing. Do not do. I don't like to waste. I sprayed just a smidge of rubbing alcohol on my paper towel here. And that's what I'm using to wipe off my tools, clean up a little bit of the space. I am glitterified, y'all. Glitter exploded over here. It's fine. Just exploded. Okay. So then, last but not least, if you've made it this long, if I haven't bored you, sorry for all the crinkling, I didn't unpackage this. I got these UV resin molds for Easter on Amazon. Here's my downside. I say my negative, and I'll say my positive. My downside is there's only one of each design. So if you're going to want to do earrings, which is, that's what I would make out of these. Somebody might make pendants, but I would make earrings. If you were going to do earrings, you were going to have to duplicate your design, basically. So you'll do it, and then cure it, pop it out, make another one, just like it, basically. That's my only downside. But you could buy 2 sets, but until I tested them, I didn't want to have 2 sets. So, because what if I hate them? I don't know. So, there's Easter eggs, which are cute. These two are stuck together. This has like a kitty cat, baby chicks, bunny rabbit. I think that's a bear coming out of the egg. A bunny rabbit, chicken, baby chick. So, this one was the one that I was not quite so certain of. So, we've got bunny rabbits here. It's a bear. We got a kitty cat, another kitty cat, teddy bear. I'm like, okay, I'm not quite sure about the teddy bear and Easter, but that's okay. This wasn't really the one that I bought it for. I think there's some cute ones here, but I'm not going to do any of those tonight. What I really want to do is that I'm going to continue with the Easter egg shaped theme that we're kind of going with. And I think that would be the best. So, what I want to do is make purple flowers earrings. So, I'm blind as a bat, and this light does not help me. So I'm putting that under there so that I can see these flowers just a smidge better. Because what I want to do is I want to put this purple resin, and I'm going to show you a multi-cured strategy. Okay. So basically, and I don't know if that one's going to come out very good, but we're going to try it. There's a little indent where these flowers are. So what I've done is I'm trying to put, in theory, I'm trying to put the purple right into the indent of this flower and the petals. And I started with the small ones first. Maybe should have did the big one. I don't know. I don't know if there's a right or wrong. Probably not. And we'll come back to those faux leather ones. I just want to start getting where I have this resin colored. I wanted to go ahead and get it rolling. And where I'm going to have to do one, cure it. And it's going to be cured in layers. Kind of want to get that rolling. Because I do have to go to bed at some point tonight, y'all. Because I do work tomorrow. So, you know. Alrighty. Looks really kind of cute, I think. I think. Oh, look at these. See? They came out cute. Yeah, I like that. Maybe I probably wouldn't do the yellow again if I were going to do it. You know, I'd probably choose, you know, the polka dot or something that has more color with it. So, lesson learned. Alright, this is just being too sticky. So, getting some of the cooler one. Heat-wise, it's colder. Let's say that. That's not fancy or cooler in that sense. It's cooler as in colder. It helps grab all that hot one up. So those are cute. Alright. Alrighty, those are in our pile. That was just a base. Okay, so these guys, let's see here. I had a good blocker for that, and I have no clue what I've done with it. So we'll bring out blocker number 3 that y'all have seen. Alrighty, faux leather. Let's put just clear resin on top. And you probably can see I'm getting some bubbles. Not concerned at this point because I will let that sit for a second and then I will pop them. I am making sure like any of those little gaps in the resin coverage is getting filled in. And that one filled in really nicely. Okay. Bubble popper. There's some deep ones. Whoops. Let's not catch it on fire, shall we? Let's not do that. Okay. I was making sure my brush didn't have a ton of glitter on it, because then I would drop the glitter into this, and I didn't necessarily want that. There, I got the big ones. There was maybe a couple small ones, but I'm not gonna hem and haw and stress. But look how cute that is. Yeah, looking cute. Clear that up. Okay. Put our blocker back up. So then I am going to grab our yellow. And I'm trying to work kind of fast because this resin's been sitting. And it will start to get tacky pretty quickly. Just even from like my ring light. So I'm going to make the centers yellow. Very predictable, right? Very predictable. And I know that I'm going to have to do another layer to then go over top, but at least that kind of gives us that base layer. I don't want to mix anything else because I don't want the yellow to spread out too far, and I don't want it to separate and mix in, which is why I didn't put the yellow in at the time that I put the purple in, because otherwise they would have the potential to mix. Now I noticed that there was a little gap of purple, and that's fine because I'm over here at the edge, so it's not going to affect that yellow in the center, just to give it a little bit more color there. If I knew how much I was going to need of each one, I would maybe start another one, but I'm afraid that if I do that, I'm going to end up short somewhere along the line, and I don't want to do that. I'm going to just stick with the one, not get too chaotic, because we got enough going on right now. Alrighty. 2 minutes, y'all. 2 minutes. I tell you, every time. Takes forever. 2 minutes. Alright, that one goes there. Like, what can I clean up? What can I keep working on? Okay. Flip those out. Oh, those are cute. Good, good, good. Put that back in there. Oh yeah, that makes it really nice actually. It's hot. Hot. I know I say that sometimes. I'm like, whoo, those are hot. Now the back sides are velvety. I don't know why velvety is my word right now. It's not the right word either. Felty. They're more felt on them. Felt feeling. Goodness gracious. They're felty on the back, so it's gonna absorb resin for sure. We know that. Let's see, what colors do we have in here? So you know what would look really cute. I don't have a lot of counterculture DIY pink glitter either. I'm learning. So here's another one of those Darius brand glitter that I'm not quite sure where I got it from. But before I put that on there, what I want to do, because I don't want that to all absorb into the back, because I know that it's going to try to, given the material, I'm going to put a really thin layer of our UV resin. So I am putting the nozzle to this down on to the felt part. And I dripped that on my finger. And I'm just using this tool to help hold it in place. Let me wipe this off of my finger. So I'm rubbing that like into the felt. I'm rubbing it on the felt, into the felt, just so that it can go ahead and absorb the resin. Get off of there. There we go. Okay, a couple bubbles happening. So we will not be too overly concerned, because I'm going to put a glitter over it and it's going to be just fine. So clear that up. And actually, in looking at it, I want to use this as my back glitter to this too. So I'm going to actually put on a clear glitter first. So basically with this one, we're building it backwards. Our front is the side that's on the table. It's on the bottom. Front of our earring. And there's a big freaking bubble. That bubble is massive. And it looked like it was right at the surface, but it's not popping like it is at the surface, so guess what? We had to move it on up. Goodness gracious, why is that bubble not popping? Okay, so this is really sharp, so I'm going to be very, very careful to not stab my mold or scrape the edge of my mold even, because you could damage your mold. But okay, this bubble, I don't know, it's wild. But basically I was using that as a hook to hook that bubble and bring it up, because it was not wanting to cooperate. So I'm going to go ahead and put a thin layer of pink just directly on this. And put that in there. Okay. Cute. Cute, cute. Those are sweet. I'm just kind of flattening them in my hand just to make sure that they kind of flatten up. Alrighty. UV resin. I'm going to go a little more, because I want to be able to cover the back of these two, and I want to be able to cover a little bit on that too. put our blocker up. And I could have used my spoon, of course, but I decided that I was just going to go directly in with it from the shaker. So I'm mixing that UV resin around the pink glitter. And then we're going to use that. It's a really cute pink. That's a good Easter pink. That's for sure. I think I'm going to end up using all this, which is fine on these ones. And then I'll do some more for the back of that one, because I'm going to have to do 2 of the back of that one once I finish the second one of it. So, you know, why not? This is where the tacky stuff, oh, I just totally ran over it, didn't I? I got too excited. Alright. This is where the tacky stuff though comes in handy, y'all, because it would hold this in place, and then I'm not trying to hold it and got the resin. Dang it. Hope I didn't get the front 2 covered. Time will tell. Time will tell. Alright. Okay. Yay, yay, yay. Do, do, do. We're kind of working it out, like somewhat of a smooth happening here. Oh yeah, this is stank and cute. It needs to not get too curled. Alrighty, so you know what I might do actually is I don't even think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna just put white on the back here, because that's gonna make that pink pop more than adding more pink to it. I kind of like the level of pink it is from what I can see. Of course, I can't see the front side, so time will tell on it. Basically, I'm just filling this up to the brim. You wouldn't necessarily have to fill it to the brim, and I don't typically do that. This is a pretty thin one, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop a couple bubbles. Also, because I have a silicone brush here, I'm gonna wipe it off, but then I'm gonna just go around the edge really quick. Make sure any resin that decided to come over and out kind of gets cleaned up, because that will make our cleanup of it a lot easier too. So there's that. We can just pop it right in along with the other set, as long as it will, as long as it would sit, but it's not gonna sit. So what I might do is restart the 2 minutes, just because I moved that around to make that fit. Yep, you were trying to stick to the thing. I knew you were gonna. Little turkey. Alright, perfect. Alrighty, so I'm gonna need my yellow, my purple, my pink. Okay. So I have extra resin, UV resin, mixed with some glitter. And what I want to do is I'm just going to really do a dump of them. I'm not going to stress too much about it. I basically don't want it to go to waste, is essentially what is going to happen here. So what I will do is basically take my brush, So I have some blue, and if you recall from the first set, there's mica ones in here. There's a big old hair on that. Don't mind that, y'all. This is going to be a nightmare to clean, by the way. But be what it be. Be what it be. And oh my goodness, I've got to clean up this workspace. Y'all can't let me let this get out of hand. Not y'all's fault. Oh, it's my fault. It's that in my head, I'm like, oh, now that darn hair is stuck to my brush. Or maybe stuck to my fingers? I don't know. Sorry. I can't work with that darn hair. The problem is that I get all these like wonderful ideas in my head. And I'm like, oh, I should do this. Oh, I should do that. And I think, oh, I have all this time to do this and to do that. I don't got that kind of time, y'all. Like, just in my head, it shouldn't take as long as some of these things take. And I have brilliant things, and then I just can't. Just a mess. Just a mess. Maybe it's called creator's brain. I wonder if other creators have that. I feel like they probably do. I feel like I'm not the only one that has that situation. So all I'm doing is I'm just basically adding this in. This is going to be a dump earring set, basically. So it's just dumping resin into it. There's no rhyme or reason of like pattern or theme other than it's literally just extra resin. So we had extra from that first set of earrings that we had micas being used. This set is obviously got glitter in it. Oh, I need yellow. I need yellow. And I just mixed that with blue. So you know what? Just gonna go ahead and go with what I was doing. So there's no rhyme or reason here. They're just getting done just because I have the resin to do it. And I'm gonna have to mix a little bit of yellow, but that'd be what it be. Okay. Simple, simple. Simple, simple. Alright, right. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and cure those up. They're gonna probably need 3 to 5 minutes just because of all the glitter and the thickness of those. The coloring. Alright. So anyway, yes, my workspace is a mess and it's kind of giving me some anxiety. Alright, so I did have that overage come to the front. Of course I did. So, you know what? It's not going to be an issue because it's going to be about where your hook is going to be and you're not going to even see it. I was going to get all worried about it. I'm not. I'm not. Okay. One last thing though. I am going to do a coat on top. One more coat on top to demo on that one. Are we ready? Y'all, are we ready? Coming out of there. Look at how cute that is. Aw, it's sweet. It's still cute, like not completely solid, so I'm able to take off these edges that kind of overflowed. But it is so, so cute. I really like how sweet it came out. That's really sweet looking. I got a funky, I must have had a funky bubble right here. So when I do the doming of those, I'll probably just fill in my hole because I'm going to drill that out anyway. So I'm not super worried about it. I want to go ahead and get the layer on this though, because I know that it's going to have to get cured up. So we're just, again, dropping. into our flowers. I was a little worried that the flowers weren't going to come out defined enough, but I would say they came out pretty good. Like, they're a little funky. I just filled in where the yellow goes. We'll move that out here in a minute. There's some a little bit funky, but overall, like, I mean, you could tell it's flowers. It's not like, if somebody didn't think those were flowers, I'd be more worried about them on a different level than anything. So, I think it's cute. I think it's cute. I even like it, like, I know these weren't, this sound funny, maybe not funny, but, I know it's intended to be Easter egg, the little flowers, but I think you could do different ones and it'd be summer or spring earrings. Like, I don't think these would have to be specifically worn strictly for Easter. Like, I get that was the intent of this mold for sure, but and I'm just taking my brush and bringing some of that resin back out so that I will be able to put a yellow dot in there. And truthfully, because it's still trying to fill in, I've got just enough yellow. I'm gonna go ahead and drop it in right there and go ahead and do that one. Also, I dumped a little bit of purple. So there we go. All right. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that in. No, we're going to take that out. Oh yeah, those cured up nice. Yeah, perfect. Good deal. Alright, I need to clean up my hands a little bit. I got a little sticky with all this running around with it. Okay. Alrighty. Some people be like, why you aren't wearing gloves? Because I can't work with them very well. I do for my big resin projects, but UV resin, because I'm doing such fine detailing, I'd have a hard time. Alright. So, we are going to tack these on, because we've learned our lesson. It doesn't take much, but just something to give you a solid base. Alrighty. So, I got like glitter on the fronts of these because they weren't fully, it just sticks, glitter sticks. So anyway, got glitter on it. Trying to take that off. So coming to the edge, filling in. These are, the top has a little bit of a ridge and it is sloping downward. So I'm going to have to be very careful to not put too much resin to the edge and to work a little bit sort of fast so that I don't have any spillage over. Okay. And of course, got a big old bubble that came out. And this is going to be a little bit stuck to probably my purple tray that I'm working off of. This one is. I'm not worried about that though, because I'll be able to pop it right off. Alright. So like I said, working a little bit on the faster side. I do see, yep, that bubble was underneath. Okay. I saw a bubble and it's definitely in the bottom layer already cured up. So that's going to be where it is. Alrighty. Next up, I don't know why I keep putting my shield down, because I just need it again. I'm going to see if I can get enough yellow pooled up here to do the centers, because it really doesn't take much at all. As you can see, I'm just taking my silicone brush, and then I just kind of roll to pull that resin off of there, shift it where I want it to go. I also have this other cup. I just gotta be careful. It's got a lot more blue sort of mixed in, but I think it will be okay. Yeah, it'll be alright. Okay, I got one more. Can you give me enough for this little guy? Oh yeah, I think so. But get it in the right spot. Yeah, it's gonna work. Yeah, it's gonna work. Oh, so funny. Alright. That way I didn't have to mix anymore. And then have even more. Oh yeah, there we go. Done. Done, diddly done. Alrighty. Pop that in there with that, because I'm not worried. I have a little bit more purple, so I'm going to start a dump spot in both of these. We're going to hit that up one more time. Yeah, that one definitely bringing around that hole that I was filling. Oh well. Alrighty. Like, lovely. Like, so thankful that you did a weird bubble in that spot. That's okay. It's fixable. Just, I'm gonna grumble about it for a moment. Alrighty. So, like I said, I don't know if yellow and purple are really good layering like this, but these are dump earrings, so you do what you can, do what you got. I don't want to put too much in these just because I'm afraid it won't cure if I did it full up solid. So that's why I moved to putting it over here. Okay. Pink we're going to hold off on because we need pink for that one. And then yeah, I think we're close. Next up, we'll be drilling some holes. That's gonna be fun. Fun, fun, fun. I'm gonna go ahead and shift this out. So this is what I was saying is gonna be fun. It decided to have a full explosion, which doesn't surprise me. And this one had an explosion off the edge, which doesn't surprise me. This one did not. This one looks great. 1 out of 3, right? Doing good. Good odds. Again, you're going to live and you're going to learn. And if I wasn't in somewhat of a rush or trying to do multiple things at once, that probably would not have happened. But that's okay. Here's what we're going to do with this guy, because he has a pretty big chunk on him. And he's still a little bit warm. So we are going to take our scissors and we're going to just slowly, carefully, it went flying. That piece of resin just went flying. And voila. I will probably edge these anyway with like a little gold, so you won't ever see that roughed up edge. It's not that like sharp. You could Dremel it, but I don't think I need to. This guy, kind of similar, I'm gonna do with him. By the way, white on the back was a great idea. Alright. Similar to him, I don't want to cut this tip fully off, of course, because I want that knob up there for the earring spot. But I am going to go ahead and trim him up a little. Now, he's a little bit more sharp. And all I was trying to do is kind of get that a little bit more even. And I think it's good enough that once I drill out the hole, and make it into an earring, it's not going to be an issue. So there's that one. Alright. We can put those ones in to cure up. Did I really lose? Oh, look, I found this one. I don't know how I'm doing that, y'all. This is where not having this space clean is kind of stressing me. You're going to see me come unraveled. So you may think that, oh, she's got it all together. Look at her crafting and doing things. Trust me. I have my moments. I have anxieties like you wouldn't believe. I just don't let on to them. So, at least, when I'm crafting, truthfully, the anxieties don't come up very much, except that I do feel overwhelmed by this disastrous mess, which we're going to get cleaned up soon. So, it's all good. But, I have struggles like most people do, so I don't think anybody, if somebody says they don't struggle or have struggles, they're probably lying. That's my theory. They probably are not being truthful, either to you or to themselves even, honestly, because I think, especially in this day and age, everybody has struggles. So, and what I would say is that just remember that and choose kindness. Don't be mean to people. Life's already hard enough. Let's be kind to one another. Okay, enough about that sappiness. Whew. So, I don't need pink anymore, right? Yeah, because we're going to use white on the back. We already got our yellow. These are probably done, but I want that to go just a little longer so that we can help my stressed outness. Let me put some of these glitters away. Normally I would just move them off my space out of the way, and then after my video I would go in and I would get this all put back together at some point. It's usually not the same day. Oops. But since it's sort of wormy, a bit thin, I'm just going to go ahead and put those away. Okay. Then I have a little bit of pink still left over. So I'm going to go ahead and add it to these purple ones, which I think are going to come out really pretty, actually. That's getting a little thick. It's getting a little thick and tacky. That or my brush has some cured on it. That's what I think happened. I think my brush has a piece of cured resin. You might be able to see it. I don't know. And it's making a lot harder because I wasn't protecting it from the light and it was pretty close to the lamp. Oh well, for what little we're doing here, not too worried about it. Those are going to be really pretty. So see, dump earrings can turn out pretty amazing. Alright, so I had that napkin that I had a few minutes ago used to wipe my hands off, and I'm using it just to get what I can out of our little dishes I call these little dish cups. This is going to be a nightmare because that fine glitter is just a mess. And then I'll throw it away, which is what I just did. Alrighty. Let's put you two in there. Let's block our light one more time. And, oh, it's so pretty. Really, really pretty. I'm going to try to not end up with that funky knob again, but I think I filled it more with clear the last time, so I didn't have much to fill with white, but this one felt like I had a lot more white to fill, which is fine. I really didn't get any bubbles. Big old chunk of glitter. There's a big old bubble. Decided to pop up. I'm going to put just a smidge more in to fill that up. There looked like a little bit of a gap going, so I decided I'd just get it filled in. I'm going to go ahead and set him in here because he can sit on top and not affect the other ones. And while that's going, I'm going to try to show you how to clean these up. So these I could turn into earrings, and I probably will. Just may not happen this year. But I didn't want to have like a 5-hour video for y'all. So I'm going to take some, fill that one pretty far up, of this rubbing alcohol and just pour it into our little cups. And truthfully, if you were going to do gloves, this is where I would definitely probably throw on a pair of gloves. I'm already feel like I'm dirty enough that I'm just going to roll with it. So I did put a little bit of rubbing alcohol on a paper towel, and I'm just wiping off everything that I've touched, because I touched that really sticky bottle, and honestly, then I touched other things and it just, golly, it got just everywhere. It's just awful. Even though I'd wiped my hand off, and I just unfortunately got super messy this one. We'll demold those here in a sec. I'm going to just remove this so that the bottom light can also cure it up. And as you saw, I just dumped that everywhere. I'm going to just, not that I care about this piece, but if I were to ever need it to be my divider and my storage thing. Plus, I'm kind of weird like that I like my things like cleaned up. It's bugging me that this tray isn't a silicone tray. So it's not easy, the resin sticks to it really hard. That bugs me a little bit, but I don't know any other way they could have done it. I'm not saying that. But I'm just taking this paper towel that's got some of the rubbing alcohol on it and just cleaning off tools, wiping off my mat, while I let those settle in and stick up. Oh my goodness, I have to put a child to bed. I just realized. So I'm going to pause the video here, y'all, and get child put to bed. I'll be right back, and we'll finish cleanup and such. So I'm just taking that off of there, basically just to clean up so that when I put my lids on, they're not sticking. UV resin really isn't going to, because it doesn't have light to cure it, so it's not going to cure it, but it will make the next time a lot smoother. Alright. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyway, didn't realize what time it was, y'all. Ouch. Just whacked my entire table. I asked her, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like a half hour past your bedtime. This is my oldest. She's like, I know, I texted you. Because I asked her, like, why didn't you text me? She's like, I did. It didn't come through on my watch. So, normally it would come through on my watch and alert me that I had a text, and I would have realized what time it was. I was just all in my groove with y'all. Alrighty. So, of course, these were sitting that entire time. And I think what I'll do is this is almost like tonight I've almost sat for 2 hours to craft, which is wild. Probably by the time I'm done cleaning up, it will be 2 hours. So, what I think I'll do, because we haven't drilled out our holes, of course, yet. So I think I will post this installment. My first 2 videos, I'll combine them together. It's going to be like a 3-hour video, which I know is super long for people, but hopefully you can just fast forward to do what you want. It is what it be. And then what I'll do is next week's video, I will post me drilling them and getting them, like the finishing touches, you know, edge them, whatever it is that needs to be done. Okay, so glitter is beautiful. That's my positive. I always try to say something positive, especially if I'm going to say something negative. So, here's my my own little therapy again. A little therapy session now. Glitter is beautiful. However, it is a me to clean up. I'm not going to say the full word. It is literally a nightmare to clean up because it just gets on everything and it's so fine. So basically this is where I think in that first video which I keep saying first and second video. Please note that this is all going to be one video, but I just recorded it in 2 installments. But this is where I think soap and water, now that all the resin is out, would be beneficial. So these I'm probably going to have to soak in some hot water and hope that I can get this glitter to finish coming off of them so that they don't interfere with the next thing that I put them in. You could probably, and I could because I have plenty of these and they come in such a large pack, could go ahead and designate some that are just for glitter or just for micas, because micas and alcohol ink can stain them. Alcohol ink especially can stain them. Micas just are a little more messy. You could do that. This one came out pretty clean. But I'm using a lot more rubbing alcohol than I normally would. I'm still struggling to get the glitter to come off. The other thing too is probably if I let these dry, I could take some tape and get that off. So we might try that when I drill holes. Maybe I'll try that because these will have sat and been there long enough. Biggest thing is before I put them in soap and water, I'd want to make sure that I got a majority of the resin out, just because you don't want that going in your drain. Majority meaning like 98% or more. Okay. We're not going to spend the rest of the time cleaning because that's not what y'all came for. Although I've always wondered how people clean their stuff because it's really not shown. Alrighty, so pull this guy out. He luckily is still warm, so as you can see, that just came right off. It's thin enough that with my fingers, I can just kind of pop it off. You could take your Dremel or a little sanding or nail file even and pop that right off. did much better on our little knob. Yay! And look how cute. So, let me get this black background. And we're gonna look at how cute this is. I'm gonna show y'all all that we did. So we have this one. Look at those. Those are cute, right? I'll zoom in here at the end here. Those ones. And it would be good anyway to let these sit probably 24 hours before I drill them. They're still gonna need to cure fully up. But they're really cute. And you can kind of see based on my hand, like that one just has some of that tacky stuff on it. I don't think you can see it in the video, but I can see it in real life. You actually can see it just because of the shadow it was giving. You can see based on my hand about the size that these are. So pretty cute. Like these are cute. They're pretty light. I mean, really, those ones are a little thicker. These are super light. I think that looks so cute. So, just as a recap, these were UV resin and tattoos, temporary tattoos with micas. Same with those. And then we did, oh, sorry, taking a little bouncy red. These were the stickers. They're just out of a cardboard piece that then we ended up doing. These were the felt that we did. These were faux leather. And this was a UV resin mold. So look at this. You've got 2, 3, 4, 5 different styles that we did here in different ways that you could use and how it came out. So you got to see the experiments, pros and cons, and so forth. So leave a comment. Tell me what you thought. Let me know which one's your favorite. And next week we will drill us some holes and do some finishing touches, make these into beautiful earrings. Hope everyone has a great week. Happy Easter. Enjoy your family. Oh, really quick before we go, I'm not going to unmold these two just because they still need quite a bit, but let's look at these dump ones. Well, these are kind of cool because it had that mica in there. Now, these have been sitting a little bit, so they are a little bit more hard. A little hard to get that off, but that's cute. Put him there. So you could go either side to be your front. Oh, sorry, camera got out of focus. I went in too fast. But you can see how it has the different shimmers from the mica. So that's pretty neat. And it still was relatively easy to break off those pieces. But you could go either side. You could go that side, or you could go this funky side, depending on which one you wanted to use. Let's look at these guys. Ooh, these are pretty. I had a bubble. Well, that's okay. Yeah, you could really go either side with these too. They're pretty either way. Oh, I had a bubble there. Just kind of to be expected. Those ones are a little tacky. I suspect just because they're so thick. So, anyway. Hope everyone has a good week. Happy Easter. Have a great time with your family. Whether you celebrate or not, just enjoy and have some joy in your life. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye.